Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here, basically, we are discussing on the topic that is city creation. City creation, basically, we are discussing on the topic that is future creation. In this, basically, we are discussing India account. In India account, basically, we are discussing SBI, Amazon, and after 2 days, basically, the earthquake is going to happen. In this, basically, we are discussing on the topic that is lava account. And in lava account, basically, we are discussing that basically. In this, basically, we have taken one example of the Mumbai city. Mumbai city is having 1 lakh companies. They are basically having 10 crore projects. They are going to get 100. They are basically going to get that. Sorry, from that project, basically, they are going to get the lava data. That is you can say chemical data. That chemical data basically they are going to dump into the lava. That is basically inside the land. That basically the techniques basically are there. They basically directly basically can't die. It's very risky task basically. After that basically the process will happen, and that lava basically is going to generate. That lava is going to generate what 100 crore child. That is the project. And after generating the so you can just imagine the population basically the child basically which happens. So each and every project basically which is ongoing. So what is the end stage? That is must. So here basically what is the end stage? 100 crore birth basically has done, and their ideas basically keeps on connecting, keeps on. After one of the person told that dependency is what basically, and how basically project group basically removes the dependency. Here basically I will take one example. As in that basically child basically 100 crore child birth basically mapped here. Ideas are also basically mapped inside the child basically, which is going to get the birth. So here basically the thing is, here the lava group basically don't have to depend on the mapping of ideas inside mapping of ideas basically. So child is going to get ideas as per his time basically. As per his time he is going to get idea. So here basically the lava group basically after taking the entire powers data each and everything, they basically can they can release that lava data into the water format. So because time basically see, it's connected to the time management basically, time management system. So they told that like this basically the water is because the circle basically must keeps on going because there are 900 crore population. How basically it's going to work? So like this basically they told that we are converted into the water. So 100-year water basically that is stored into the land area, and that water basically will dump into the sea water, and that after sea water basically this data basically are verified and captured. And how basically they keeps the water basically in, for example this water basically was created, this project basically was created for the Bangalore city. They will dump the 100 years data to the Bangalore city. They will dump the data to the 100 year after the data is processed. They will give the data to the Mumbai, sorry, the to the Bangalore city. So water is going to dump into the Bangalore land. And then basically rest of process everybody knows that is the normal process which government says that here basically we got the water, there basically we got the water by the drainage machine, whatever by the drilling machine basically they have machine basically which checks water basically exists here or there basically whatever basically. But the who dumped the water they know that basically here basically the water is there. So that is also thing. So then water is dumped, then after certain time basically the buildings are basically already created, so they will get the projects. So see the chain basically of the each and every creation. Each and every things basically are connected here. Not a single thing basically gets break. If it gets break, then entire creation will get affected. For example, one person basically is earning around assume that basically 35,000 basically he is earning. And nowadays 35,000 is a normal amount basically. Assume that basically he is staying in Bangalore city. So 35,000 basically is a huge amount basically. And he's basically taking the giving around rent home. Then basically he's having his human needs, as in that basically he's having sugar disease. You have to check the routine also, check up basically you have to do. Then basically in this basically he have to spend his human needs also. Then basically vehicle is there, so that basically petrol required. Then each and every he basically is having some health insurance policy, that policy, this policy. Then basically he have to send the money to the house. After that, basically nothing basically comes in his hand. In this, basically suddenly some other expense basically came. So that is going to change his entire life cycle. Life cycle means entire money life cycle will get changed. So this connects like this. If this entire chain basically which is created by certain groups basically, if any of the thing basically will happen unexpected, that is going to break the entire chain. Entire chain basically gets effect. So that's why up to that level the plans basically are then done. So that basically other factors, other data basically is not supposed to affect. For that basically the big degrees people basically are there, IITs are there, IIM groups are there, C chartered accountant groups are there, MBA groups are there. They keeps on planning basically. Their task basically are to do the planning basically. So that the task basically which is ongoing, that is not supposed to get effect. So you can just imagine up to what level the hard work basically is on. So here what is the point basically? Here one of the person told that 100 crore basically is the target of that lava data. So 100 crore child basically is going to get birth. Here basically I had taken one example of the Microsoft, how Microsoft has created one like condition. According to the condition basically birth will start the process. And the human needs and the task and the ideas, each and everything basically of the child. So child basically birth process basically when happens, whatever child idea basically is going to get, that is already dumped basically inside his body basically. So then basically human needs each and every. So one of the person told me, which is the best stage to dump the ideas. That is also a very dangerous thing basically. So one of the person told that only universe group basically can tell. Why? Because they have created human. Human means I am human. The child basically gets the birth. They are human. So they have created by whom? That is created by the satellite groups. So they only basically can take the decisions and they only can change the sequence of these ideas when basically to dump. So that's basically the personal basically of satellite groups and the universe group. And they basically have different family members and they have different group only basically. For that basically that's the personal of the universe and satellite. And we basically have the normal percentage. Normal means I'm basically not having the job also. So my own expense basically is also basically I'm not able to get. So that's basically the so that's the normal percentage. That is the normal person's condition basically. That is the condition of normal person basically. That is the condition of normal person. But that are basically the extraordinary people. There basically money is no value basically. Why? Because they are basically sitting in the money only. So that is also different point. Basically. So here the point is what? Here the point is Microsoft told that basically I am going to create 1 crore child. For that basically he added 1 lakh conditions. That condition basically which is getting added, that basically the maintenance and each and every stuff basically are basically getting very difficult. So in that basically the normal project basically which is ongoing like ERP, school management system, education system, CRM system, and the banking management, there basically they can't add the stuff basically which is ongoing. So they told that basically we will create one data science, data analysis stuff basically. In this basically data scientist also basically we can add. In that basically we can add this all stuff basically. That is the condition stuff. So one of the condition is what basically I had told. Microsoft told that basically I want 1 lakh condition to be created at any cost. So in this one condition of the habit condition or like this habit basically, in that condition basically, he told that I am going to create one. I am going to give this project to one of the car company, and that car company basically is going to do that project. For that basically he hired one software company. Assume that that is Accenture or Capgemini, whatever company basically. Here basically company is not the concern. So here the thing is the concept basically which I am telling basically. So he told that. We have given the contract to that particular company, software company. They basically decides the stuff. They basically car company basically what is the role of car companies? They just want their target to be finished. That is the selling car. For that basically the software company is selling that basically we are taking the responsibility of that. So they are going to create the whatever car basically, whatever energy that car is going to generate, that data they are 100% going to create. Basically. People basically do anything basically for the business basically. So this is basically one condition need to add basically in that lava data. So car company told that basically we are ready to give the our car one of the model basically. So they basically told that, but here car company don't know that their product basically are going to use this way. But they know that basically they are handling the seasons and seasons are directly connected with the lava data. Season mean Mosam basically. So then basically he told that the season data basically you are creating car group basically. That basically the software company told the car company owner. So car company owner basically told that you basically can create that car basically which is going to handle this condition. So car company basically started creating and they basically created the stuff and then basically the environment started lava data basically keeps on generating. So one person told that this 1 lakh condition basically which has created that basically is in the environment or actually what basically because whenever the season gets connect to that particular city or wherever basically this data is dumped, is anything basically going to affect basically in the season? Suddenly climate change, this change, that change, anything basically is going to affect? That is one question. So few companies says that basically we have kept that data basically separately somewhere. So that is also very dangerous basically, because data keeps on processing, keeps on processing, keeps on processing. Like blood cells keeps on processing. So that is very dangerous. That's why basically people says that the big companies basically owner basically each and every minute basically are very costly. It's not like that basically. This is the reason basically. Their tasks basically are very dangerous basically. You see the task basically of them. That data is keeps on processing, keeps on processing. That data basically need to dump into the lava data basically. That's why each and every second, each and every minute basically are very costly of this businessman basically. That is here basically I have taken the example of Microsoft. So you can just imagine basically up to what level the stuff basically are connected. So you can just imagine basically up to what level the creation basically has also done. So nobody knows that basically what task basically they are doing. Why? But they know that basically something basically they are doing. Because it's very risky na basically. If the information basically are passing to this, that, each and every group basically, then it's a very dangerous thing basically which you are passing. Because that data also generates into the body and that data also keeps on processing. That data also keeps on processing inside your body. So to know anything, to know any of the knowledge, to know any information, that is also very dangerous. Instead of that, basically don't know anything. That is better basically. But to know that is also good. Why? Because in future basically you only connected to this area data. Then basically what you are going to do? That is also thing basically. So both side basically are there. Negative and positive both sides. So one of the person told that the world basically has created this way only. World basically has created this way only. And world is creating the world businessmen basically are creating the future. And that future basically are dumped in the form of lava. And that is the future basically. That which data basically it is dumped into the lava format, that is the future. And the water basically which you are seeing into the sea water, that is the future. Because That data basically, the water basically which is dumped into the sea water, that basically the Bangalore cities are going to use. Here basically I am taking the Bangalore city, and that water is of 100 years. So you can just imagine basically up to what level the process basically. So this is just one planet basically. Yeah. This is just one small planet, Earth planet. But think about the universe basically, how dangerous basically. There are crores of planet, crores of galaxy basically are there. So think about their time basically, how dangerous time basically of that people basically are. Here basically we are just creating one future basically to create 100 crore child. The hard work basically which we are doing, but they are basically creating the planet basically. That planet where basically this type of data basically are going to dump. So that task basically how much very dangerous basically, because they are creating the process data basically, that within this the data is going to process. So the lava data basically is going to process inside this area, that is this sand area, and that keeps on processing, and then basically the power companies takes the data. So you can just imagine basically. So you can just imagine basically up to what level the basically tasks basically are ongoing. The task basically which is ongoing. So one of the percent here basically how the data science everything basically are connected, because this whole thing basically which basically Microsoft has told, that is 1 lakh condition, that basically doesn't suits in any of the project. This suits this condition basically, or this is connected with the future project basically. And the project basically CRM, these, that, banking, that is connected with the current basically. But current only creates the future. That is also one thing basically. So here one of the person told that how the data science project and the current project which is ongoing, is there any integration data basically between them basically? That is also question basically. How they are going to integrate the stuff in future basically. Assume that basically integration required. Then basically what we are going to do? Data integration basically. Lots of people says that the Aadhaar card is there basically, but that actually I'm not talking. That is a unique identification. That is different thing, and here basically the data manipulation which is ongoing. That is different thing basically. Lots of people say that "Abey, bhai, unique identification is not there. Yeah, basically PAN card is there, Aadhaar card is there, mobile numbers are there. But that is basically not I am discussing. That is basically the linking of the tables, basically linking of the systems. That I am actually not discussing. Here, basically the thing is how you are going to integrate this data and the current data. Because currently, whatever things basically you are going to do, according to that only the generation is going to grow. And according to that generation basically which has completed his particular age, they are only going to connect with this particular data, that is the Microsoft which is dumped, Microsoft which has dumped, that is 1 crore child data. That condition basically is 1 lakh condition. That 1 lakh condition basically is dumped into the coming generation which is going to get that child basically. So how you are going to connect this everything basically? That is very dangerous thing basically. That is not very dangerous thing. So that is very dangerous thing basically. That basically lots of people says that data science project is there basically. Data science project is there. Data science, data analysis is there basically. Data analysis, data science basically in simple language basically. In business language basically, if we say one person basically purchased one jeans. Next day only basically entire sales department will know that basically that person basically has purchased this company ka jeans. This is the best example of data science. This is connecting the sales project, but it's inside the software only. So that is the integration of data science project basically. So here basically we are not discussing that. That is the integration of data science projects. But here the integration of current projects basically which are ongoing, that is basically banking project, CRM project, payroll project, then the ERP project, this project, that project, integrating to this data science project, which is telling that basically that person basically has purchased the jeans, and that basically entire companies of the jeans group basically knows that. So that how we are going to integrate that basically. Integration means it is going to generate energy basically, because Bill Gates has told, that is the Microsoft has told basically that this 1 crore child is going to get birth at particular time, and the conditions are this 1 lakh is a condition, and that 1 lakh condition basically are dumped inside this each and every people basically, and that people basically are going to connect to certain level of habits, their mind basically is going to do, they are going to eat this type of food, these each and every conditions basically are dumped inside this 1 lakh body. Then 1 lakh body is basically is going to do certain level of process, idea is going to generate this each and everything basically is going to generate this according to the 1 lakh condition. The childbirth basically process is going to pass through the coming generation, and then basically the birth process will start. Then the birth process will start. Then the birth process is going to start. So one of the person told that this is actually not magic basically. This is literally magic basically. Magic of the data basically. Data science. Data science is different thing. The projects basically which is currently ongoing, that are different thing. So here two groups basically came into the picture, because it's not so easy to handle the data science project also. It's not so easy to handle the data science project also. I will take one example. I will take one example. Assume that basically one person told that basically potato basically creation, that demand basically is too much and supply basically is not happening. So just see how data science, data analysis, data scientist basically connects to the current ongoing system. They told that basically, yeah, basically क्या करे यार basically. Then basically the pass, they basically done the complaint to the businessman. Businessman done the complaint to the government. Government told that basically this, yeah, because they are government basically. Their decisions are up to that level. They basically directly pass the condition to the complaint to NASA and ISRO. They told that basically potato is basically generated from where, which data. So they directly connected to the source, that is MBA degree. That was the MBA degree education data basically. That data basically are 2 crore people basically. That 2 crore people basically is having the MBA degree, and they are basically working also. They are doing the process of potato. They basically is not having the work. Due to that work basically, their company basically is suffering from lots of losses. So see the integration, see and see the time tracking, and see the alarm basically, that 2 crore people basically are not working, they basically are having some problem. That alarm basically came from the potato data basically. See the connection, see this is the integration of data science and currently ongoing projects basically. So they basically track that basically potato basically is doing some less production, because MBA groups basically are not having the work, and the companies basically are not doing the good process basically. So you have to give that some business to the, so the government basically started concentrating on MBA groups basically. That is the connected companies basically, where basically these 2 crore people are working. So government started giving the work basically, and the work was what? Projects. The next level of potato, which is going to check by and has checked by Bollywood group. So see the chaining using basically. See the chaining concept basically using. So they told that potato basically process basically has started. Now basically after a certain time basically just tell us basically how many, what is the demand and what is the supply of potato. The businessman told that basically now basically it's okay. We are getting the supply and demand is also according to that. So up to what level the things are basically connected, and up to what level the, if you do the complaint to particular group basically, they exactly know that basically where is the problem. If we say this everything to the businessmen, what they are going to do? They are directly going to reach to whom, basically farmers. But here basically farmer are doing basically what? They are just doing the growth basically. They are just having the potatoes basically from the land. If you go more detail, then basically the chemical plants are there who are doing the production of potato. There also basically the normal people will go. But here the problem was not there. So government has inquired everything. Then and basically they connected to the NASA and ISRO, because NASA and ISRO's times basically are very dangerous. Basically. Their each minute basically are very dangerous. So they told that MBA basically groups basically are not having the work. So please allocate the work, that is the projects. So they will, in that project basically they are going to do certain level of process. Their brain is going to the process, blood cells is going to do process. According to that, basically the next level of potato basically is going to generate. Then basically the demand supply basically January stuff basically is going to match. So you can just imagine basically. So you can just imagine basically. I basically can't imagine. Why? Because how you are going to connect this each and every projects here basically. It's very dangerous stuff basically. I'm telling you, it's not easy basically. That's why basically the data science company says that basically that's why we have uh, created data science concept. Data scientists are there, data analytical are there. I don't know how many data basically. Data warehouse basically is a old concept basically. So here basically the data science are there, data analysis are there. So see the chain you see now basically. They how basically they tracked. That is also one of the data. Na? Otherwise, if they don't have the data, then basically how they are going to track? How they are going to say that basically the MBA basically people basically that are 2 crore people basically they are not doing the process. They have the data. That's why basically they are telling. If they don't have the data, then basically how they are going to tell? So data science project basically takes very makes very dangerous thing. Connects to very dangerous roadmap basically. That also you can say. It's a roadmap only basically. Everything is roadmap basically. You can say. So you can just imagine basically up to what level things are basically connected. Here the main thing is where these 1 lakh conditions are stored basically, because it's very dangerous. I'm telling you, because data keeps on processing, keeps on processing, keeps on processing. That's why people says that Bill Gates' time basically is very costly. This basically somebody has told. This is the reason basically why they have told. People basically doesn't make each and every word basically for the particular people basically. The rich people basically time basically are very costly. They have somebody has told this. The reason is this basically, that the where basically the data is going to process and up to what level the things are going to process. So you can just imagine basically up to what level the stuffs basically are connected, and this everything is done basically. And everything is done. That means if nothing basically is happening, that means the perfectly task basically are defined only. So see the data science, data analytical, data scientist, and the current project basically, which is totally different than the this group basically. And how basically data science are connected. That basically example I have already taken. Science group, commerce group. Commerce group says that this is the data science, the demand and supply data. They says that this is the formula, and that formula automatically connects to that. So who is integrating this? Who know that basically this formula is going to connect to this particular demand and supply chain? Somebody might be knowing that basically, and somebody might be doing that basically. Otherwise, automatically anything is going to happen. Automatically, nothing is going to happen. Automatically, nothing basically is. going to happen. So you can just imagine basically data science, data analytic, that are basically high level, highly qualified professor only basically they can do basically. Yeah, they basically can teach the data science, data analysis, and data science. Basically. Sorry, data science, data analytic, and data engineer. Because it's connected. I'm basically not talking about the normal projects that are basically the demand and supply. Then basically one person told that this data is not matching. I'm talking about these highly qualified projects. That project basically is the that basically project basically we agree. Data science project like for example student data is getting processed. Student basically got one mark. Few years back basically he was getting good mark. Why basically he got the less mark? That is one data science na, basically. Data analysis analytical group basically are going to do the analysis. Then basically according to the data engineering group basically who are going to do the programming in the Python, PHP, whatever basically in .NET, whatever basically. According to that only they are reached to this particular conclusion that this is the exact root cause basically of why basically he actually was not able to do the performance in this particular semester. That is the data science. But here the data science is basically totally different. Who are basically the IITs, IIM, MBA groups basically they teach to their student. That is what how this formula basically is connecting to that particular demand and supply. And here basically why they teach the students because it might possible that somebody might change this formula and according to the formula change there also basically he will say that basically change according to that only also. Otherwise professor basically are not doing this everything task basically. They are doing the task now basically. But if anybody basically connects to something new and there basically after a certain time basically professor are also not going to work into that basically because their age will come, their limitation will come. So they need the resources, na, basically. For example, one developer basically done the developing part basically. He basically is developer for certain years basically. After that basically he have to leave his chair basically. For the other people basically they can sit there basically. Then basically he need to connect to the leading side basically or senior level position. Then leading basically, then project manager, then delivery head, then basically vice president, then CEO. Like this basically he has to keeps on giving his space basically. So you can just imagine the data science project basically, which is connecting to the current system which is ongoing. That are the ERP, CRM, banking, this, that, each and every stuff. And this everything is done. So here the topic is what Microsoft have told that basically I am going to get I am going to give sorry his project basically is going to give birth of 1 crore child with the help of lava data and power company data with the help of this 1 lakh condition with the help of 1 lakh condition basically which is dumped inside the certain level of people basically they are going to connect to this 1 lakh condition and the 1 crore project basically that is actually project basically here basically we can add 1 crore child also and 1 crore project also so that 1 crore child basically is going to get birth basically according to the 1 lakh condition that topic actually is on going. So in next video basically we are going to see little bit more about this topic.